Only when employers recognize that educators are valuable assets with lucrative intellectual capital, begin to value educators' contribution, and see how they impact the growth of the organization, that they will begin to recognize the importance of consulting with their educators on matters and making them feel in on affairs. Do you work in an educational institution where you feel as though the managers and policymakers are totally making decisions and agreeing legislations amiss? Do you feel as though teachers are becoming more demotivated and students more despondent because of the educational bureaucracy? Are you among a body of educators who feel misunderstood and marginalized? Here we will examine a list of needs educators have and their general order of priority and how they can be addressed. There has long been a disconnect between individuals when it comes to understanding the needs of people and prioritizing them. Though educators and leaders or managers may have similar items on the list of needs, they often are not having the same ones of utmost importance for each other. This has led to many dysfunctional workplaces and underappreciated educators. It causes demoralization, demotivation, and lowers job satisfaction for all educators. When employers and employees were asked to rank the same 10 wants, the disparity between what employers believe that educators want and what educators prioritize as essential was significantly different. Employers considered that educators wanted good wages, job security, promotional opportunities, good working conditions, and interesting works as the 5 top priorities. The factors that employers thought were least important to their educators are feeling in on affairs, sympathetic help on problems that are personal, full appreciation for work done, tactful discipline, and personal loyalty to workers. This shows an obvious disconnect between employers and the people who are working to give them service and to serve their organizations. The same survey showed that educators have a different range of needs than employers believe they have. Educators actually wanted to have full appreciation of their work that they've completed and recognition for their intellectual properties. They wanted to feel in on affairs, experience sympathetic help on problems that are personal, before job security or good wages. When these needs are met, educators feel that employers are exercising a duty of care to them and their personal development, and this breeds loyalty. The factors that educators considered least important were tactful discipline, good working conditions, personal loyalty to workers, promotional opportunities, and interesting work. Employees believe that monetary compensation is the main importance to educators, while educators actually want to be appreciated, cared for, valued, and feel in on affairs. Only when employers recognize that educators are valuable assets with lucrative intellectual capital, begin to value educators' contribution, and see how they impact the growth of the organization, that they will begin to recognize the importance of consulting with their educators on matters and making them feel in on affairs. When the value that an employee brings and the cost to train and recruit a similar talent is considered, employers will, hopefully, begin to appreciate the work of their staff and give more sympathetic and empathetic considerations to their personal circumstances and work flexibly, as these practices have a positive impact on productivity. There has long been a disconnect between employers and educators, and hopefully this information will go some ways towards unhinging such disconnects. Employers become so far removed from the lives and working experience of educators that they can no longer empathize and relate to the working conditions and employment factors that are important to educators. Educators are seen as an employee code and statistics on paper in a similar way that students are often seen. Hence, the increasing staff turnover, teacher shortages, and the inconsistencies caused to students and the education sector continues to rage, primarily due to the educators' dissatisfaction in institutionalized culture that are void of humanity. How well does the employers in your school meet the needs of their educators? What aspect of the educator-employer disconnect would you most want to repair?